He was the most loyal and feared agent of CIA.
Put my daughter's life in danger.
But the notorious organization killed all his team members.
Electrocution, drowning.
But they didn't stop and start hunting him and his daughter down. Not realizing it was part of his plan, and they are falling into his brutal trap. Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. Ben Logan is an American living in Belgium, trying to raise his daughter, Amy, after his ex-wife passed away a few months ago. Adjusting to life in Antwerp and his new job wasn't nearly as hard as handling his teenager. Amy's not exactly excited about their new life. She spends most of her time comparing Ben to her late mom, and honestly, she seems about as thrilled with Belgium as most people are with waiting in DMV line. Ben's day job involves working for the Hellgate, where he and his team test security devices for flaws. You know, making sure all those fancy locks and biometric scanners aren't just glorified paperweights. One morning, his colleague Mei Ling digs up something fishy about a device they're testing. It doesn't actually belong to Hellgate. Above our pay grade, Ben shrugs, but he tells her to investigate it anyway. After all, it's probably nothing serious, right? Yeah, famous last words. Their boss, Derek Kohler, swings by for a demo where Ben shows how a little household bleach can break to a smart lock. That's right, folks. The same stuff you use to clean your bathroom can defeat a multi-million-dollar security system. After wowing the room, Ben brings up the patent issue to Derek, who gives him the old, "I'll look into it," which is code for, "I'm not gonna look into it." But Derek also tells him to stay late and finish the report. Ben tries to explain he has to be at Amy's school event, but Derek insists the report comes first. So Ben's stuck at work while Amy wins an award, and by the time he arrives at school, she's already taken off to celebrate with her friends, including a guy named Nabil. Ben, being the overprotective dad he is, starts grilling Amy about Nabil. She insists he's just helping with her photography project, and Ben's left wondering if photography project is the new code for date. Trying to make peace, Ben offers her cookies, which might have worked if they weren't peanut butter. Turns out Amy's allergic to peanuts, and Ben's just earned himself a night in the hospital with his very angry daughter. The next morning, Amy's feeling better physically, but she's still mad enough to power a small city with her rage. Ben promises they'll do something fun to make up, but first he needs to swing by his office. Famous last words. When they get there, things get really weird. Ben waves at the security camera. Nothing. The door is open, and when he goes inside, the office is completely empty. No people, no furniture, no cubicle walls, just gone. It's like someone hit delete on his entire life. He tries calling the office and gets a message saying the number is disconnected. They drive all the way to Hellgate's headquarters in Brussels, where the lady at the front desk looks at him like he's just asked for a unicorn. There's no Derek Kohler, and there's definitely no Ben Logan on our employee list. Things get even worse when Ben learns Hellgate never had an Antwerp branch at all. It's starting to feel like he's been working for Hogwarts, except without the magic and owls. Ben's day takes a chaotic turn when he discovers his emails, paychecks, and insurance have vanished. A bank trip reveals the financial mess, and soon after, his coworker Floyd shows up with a gun, taking Ben and his daughter, Amy, hostage. Floyd's plan unravels after a car crash, leading to a fight where Ben takes Floyd down. Grabbing keys from Floyd, Ben and Amy flee, hiding in an abandoned house. Amy questions her father's secretive skills, and they soon discover the keys unlock a locker with documents implicating Ben's coworkers and Amy in something bigger. At a hospital, they uncover that Ben's coworkers have been killed, with only Walter, the front desk guy, left. Meanwhile, the CIA is tracking Ben, with his ex, Anna Brandt, leading the charge. Ben is now a suspect due to missing sensitive documents tied to illegal arms deals. The situation is far deeper than Amy or Ben could have imagined. This was their golden chance to finally get their hands on the evidence. But what these guys don't realize is that Anna's been in on the whole thing from the start. She immediately dials up Derek, who's sitting there with the canister, working to crack it open using the tricks Ben taught him. Turns out the ghost office was a Hellgate branch all along, just not on the official books. All those employees who thought they were testing company products? Yeah, they were actually helping Hellgate break into CIA systems. Fun, right? Derek is furious at Anna after she swore no one would get hurt, but she insists she didn't know the team would be wiped out like that. Unmoved, Derek declares he's now in control as he cracks open the canister, holding vital information. Meanwhile, back in Belgium, Amy calls her crush Nabil for help. Nabil agrees, though his brother Kareem is hesitant. Still, Kareem allows them to join a van of people on the run, leading them to a large apartment building in Brussels where their host convinces his wife to let them stay for 2 nights. The next morning, Anna arrives at the CIA vault in Brussels, where an agent shows her items they collected from Ben's home. She calls Mr. Bramer, the right-hand man of John Howgate, who reveals that the bloodbath was an executive decision because Ben was getting too close to discovering something about patents. Bramer urges Anna to focus on retrieving the evidence from Derek, who isn't answering his phone, rather than worrying about Ben and his daughter, since a specialist is already tracking. That specialist is at Kareem's place, going through Ben's file while playing with a little girl. Meanwhile, Ben investigates the patent number and finds it's owned by Total Security, which turns out to be a front for the CIA. Amy discovers that Ben's office was leased by a man named Marcus Wolf, who has another address in Brussels, and arranges for them to visit. Tragedy strikes when Nabil finds out that his brother Kareem has been killed, leaving Nabil to console his niece. As for Ben, during a tour of Marcus Wolf's office, he sneaks next door to grab a phone. He jokes to Amy that Marcus Wolf is a terrible alias since it's the name of a well-known Cold War spy. Ben then contacts the operator, claiming he lost a vital number, and has them redial it. The call connects to a hotel clerk who doesn't have anyone named Derek Kohler checked in, but Marcus Wolf is. As Anna receives intel about activity at a previously shut-down address, Ben takes Amy to a hotel, instructing her to wait while he confronts Derek upstairs. Amy notices something odd in the lobby. Anna and her team are there. Quick thinking, she sneaks into the elevator with the agents, but hops off midway and triggers the fire alarm, buying time as the elevator is forced back down. By the time Anna reaches Derek's room, Derek is dead and the crucial canister is missing. Ben and Amy escape with the evacuating guests, but Anna catches up in the parking lot, offering protection in exchange for the bag. Ben refuses, and Amy, already one step ahead, has stolen a car. As they drive away, Ben examines the documents inside the canister, attempting to explain his connection to Anna. Frustrated, Amy lashes out, accusing him of ruining her life and pointing out that he only re-entered her life because he's lost everything. In her anger, Amy loses control of the car, and they eventually part ways, emotionally and physically distanced. Amy gets back to the apartment first and calls her granddad, but she hears something strange in the apartment. The specialist is there. When Ben finally arrives, he sees cops all over the place. There's been a murder in the very apartment they've been hiding. The poor woman who was sheltering them has been killed. As he's leaving, Nabil shows up in tears and tells Ben what happened to his brother. Ben warns him that these people are ruthless and that Amy has been taken. Determined, Nabil and Ben team up, yet again putting another family in danger. Back at Nabil's place, they go through the canister's contents, and Ben figures out that Anna has betrayed the CIA to help Howgate. These documents could take her down too. Ben calls her and sets up a meeting. When she arrives, he tells her which train to catch, then calls her again and instructs her to switch trains, forcing her to ditch her backup agents. Once they're face-to-face on the train, Anna pulls out her gun as a little reminder to behave. Ben lets her know he has a message for John Howgate, who's dealing with some high-profile lawsuit in court. He basically gives Howgate an ultimatum: either get back the evidence or face the consequences. And of course, he demands Amy's safe return. Howgate gives Anna a chance to handle things on her own, claiming she's just like him. Bramer is furious and doesn't trust her, and rightfully so. As soon as Anna grabs Amy and takes her to the car, she fires at Howgate's men. However, the specialist is there and stops her before she can save the girl. Howgate, completely disregarding the plan to go alone, shows up at the meeting with the whole team in 2 cars. Amy gets to hug her father, Ben, but the situation quickly changes. Now, Amy's freedom comes at a cost: Ben's life. The villains don't want him around after all that has transpired. Nabil arrives with a suitcase and takes Amy away, while Ben is taken to another car. Howgate opens the suitcase for a quick look, and the car explodes, killing everyone inside. At the airport, Amy tearfully says goodbye to Nabil, waiting alone until she hears the speaker call from Mr. Marcus Wolf, a name she now recognizes.